Sarah is 60 years old. Every single morning, before she even gets out of bed, she reaches for the expensive little plastic bottle on her nightstand. She tilts her head back, squeezes 2 drops of artificial tears into her eyes, and blinks hard, desperately trying to clear the thick, milky fog that blurs her vision. For about 5 minutes, the world looks sharp again. She feels a wave of relief. She thinks she has solved the problem. But by the time she sits down in her kitchen to read the morning paper, the heavy, cloudy film has returned. She blinks and blinks, but it simply will not clear. Sarah is terrified. When she tries to drive at night, every passing headlight explodes into a blinding, scattered halo of light. She is quietly living with the deep, unspoken fear that her world is fading, and that she is slowly losing her independence. And when she finally sits in the bright, sterile room of her eye doctor's office, he simply shines a light in her eyes, writes a prescription for a thicker pair of glasses, and tells her it is just a normal part of getting older. He tells her to keep using the eye drops. But he is completely wrong, and those expensive drops she has been pouring into her eyes every morning are absolutely useless for the disease that is actually blinding her. To understand why, you must realize that you have been tricked into treating the wrong part of the eye. When you squeeze artificial tears onto your eye, you are only moisturizing the cornea, the absolute outermost surface. It is the biological equivalent of spraying a hose on the outside of a dirty windshield. It feels refreshing for a moment, but Sarah's fog, the terrifying halos, the blurriness, the constant need to squint, is not happening on the outside. It is happening deep inside the absolute center of her eye, in a highly sensitive, perfectly sealed structure known as the lens. And this lens holds a terrifying hidden biological secret. A secret that explains exactly why those liquid drops will never work, and why your vision is slowly fading into the dark. Let's look at the cooking proteins and the exact microscopic reason why the center of your eye is literally starving to death. And the exact microscopic reason why the center of your eye is literally starving to death. Inside your eye is a biological phenomenon that almost no doctor explains to their patients. The lens of your eye, the clear, focusing window that allows you to see the faces of your loved ones, has absolutely zero blood supply. It is completely cut off from the rest of your circulatory system. There are no tiny veins delivering fresh oxygen. There are no cellular repair crews coming to fix daily damage. It is a completely isolated island. And the proteins that make up that lens are the exact same proteins your body built when you were inside your mother's womb. They are never replaced. They have to last your entire life. To keep these ancient proteins crystal clear, your eye relies on a powerful natural chemical shield called glutathione. As long as glutathione is present, the proteins stay perfectly separated, light passes straight through, and your vision is perfectly sharp. But right around your 60th birthday, a physical barrier begins to thicken around the core of your lens. This barrier completely cuts off the glutathione supply to the exact center of your eye. Without that chemical shield, your eye proteins are left completely defenseless against light and oxygen. They begin to suffer from severe oxidative stress. Think of a raw egg. When it is cool, the egg white is perfectly clear and transparent. But the moment you drop that egg into a hot frying pan, the heat chemically alters the proteins. They unfold, they clump together, and they turn into a thick, solid, opaque white mass.
This is exactly what is happening inside Sarah's eye. Her proteins literally are cooking. They are clumping together, creating the cloudy fog and the blinding halos she sees at night. And squeezing artificial tears onto the surface of her eye is the exact equivalent of splashing cold water on the outside of a hot frying pan. It does absolutely nothing to stop the egg from cooking on the inside. The medical industry wants you to simply wait until the egg is completely fried and then undergo invasive surgery to scrape the clouded lens out of your eye. But you do not have to wait for the fog to steal your independence, because there is a highly specific, scientifically backed protocol designed precisely to penetrate the lens barrier and stop this oxidative cooking process before it destroys your vision forever. We have put together a completely free, comprehensive presentation that reveals this exact cellular repair protocol step by step. You can watch this private video right now by clicking the link in the pinned comment below. If you want to stop the clumping proteins and rebuild your crystal shield from the inside out, pause this video, go to the pinned comment below, and click the link to secure your access. But before you do, you need to know exactly how to push antioxidants deep into that isolated island starting today. Because the standard vitamins you are taking are completely failing to breach the barrier. Let's look at the Crystal Shield and the $1 seed that injects targeted armor directly into your starving lens.
And the $1 seed that injects targeted armor directly into your starving lens. You can walk into almost any grocery store in the world and buy a bag of raw, unsalted sunflower seeds. Most people look at them as just a simple, cheap snack. But biologically, they are one of the most concentrated sources of a very specific armor called alpha tocopherol. This is the most active, powerful form of vitamin E. And vitamin E does not just float around aimlessly in your bloodstream. It has a highly specific destination. When it reaches your eye, it physically embeds itself deep inside the delicate membranes of your lens fiber cells. It sits exactly where those ancient, irreplaceable proteins live, and it acts as a sacrificial shield. When the blinding light and the dangerous oxygen try to attack and cook the proteins, the vitamin E steps in front of the bullet. It absorbs the oxidative hit. It neutralizes the free radical. It keeps the egg from frying. But here is the devastating mistake that millions of older adults make. They hear that sunflower seeds are good for their eyes, so they eat a dry handful of them every morning, and their vision continues to blur. Because vitamin E has a strict biological lock. It is entirely fat-soluble. If you swallow that seed without a high-quality dietary fat, the armor simply passes straight through your digestive tract and ends up in the toilet. You absorb a fraction of what you ate. You are literally flushing your vision down the drain. To unlock the seed, you need a biological key. And the most perfect, scientifically proven key on Earth is the monounsaturated fat found inside a ripe avocado. When you chew an ounce of sunflower seeds alongside just a quarter of an avocado, the oleic acid physically binds to the vitamin E. It acts as a transport vehicle. It seamlessly pulls the heavy armor through your intestinal wall, into your blood, and delivers it straight to the isolated island of your lens. But delivering the armor is only half the battle, because once that vitamin E takes a bullet to protect your eye, it is dead. It is used up. It becomes oxidized itself, and it stops working. Unless you use the infinite recycle trick. Let's look at the bizarre reason why adding a few drops of fresh lemon creates an unbreakable, immortal shield inside your eye. Creates an unbreakable, immortal shield inside your eye. When that vitamin E sacrifices itself to protect your lens, it is biologically exhausted. It is finished.
It can no longer fight. But a simple squeeze of fresh lemon juice completely changes the laws of biology. Lemon juice is packed with pure vitamin C, and when vitamin C enters that isolated island in your eye, it finds the dead, oxidized vitamin E and it chemically reduces it. It literally resurrects the armor back into its active form. Instead of protecting your vision for a few minutes, that single dose of vitamin E is regenerated over and over again, fighting the oxidative fire for hours. You are not just eating a seed, you are building a self-sustaining biological recycling plant directly inside your starving eye. Here is the exact, non-negotiable morning ritual. Tomorrow morning, take exactly 1 ounce of raw, unsalted, shelled sunflower seeds. Place them next to a quarter of a ripe avocado and squeeze the juice of half a fresh lemon directly over everything. Eat all 3 together. Creates an unbreakable, immortal shield inside your eye. When that vitamin E sacrifices itself to protect your lens, it is biologically exhausted. It is finished. It can no longer fight. But a simple squeeze of fresh lemon juice completely changes the laws of biology. Lemon juice is packed with pure vitamin C, and when vitamin C enters that isolated island in your eye, it finds the dead, oxidized vitamin E and it chemically reduces it. It literally resurrects the armor back into its active form. Instead of protecting your vision for a few minutes, that single dose of vitamin E is regenerated over and over again, fighting the oxidative fire for hours. You are not just eating a seed, you are building a self-sustaining biological recycling plant directly inside your starving eye. Here is the exact, non-negotiable morning ritual. Tomorrow morning, take exactly 1 ounce of raw, unsalted, shelled sunflower seeds. Place them next to a quarter of a ripe avocado and squeeze the juice of half a fresh lemon directly over everything. Eat all 3 together. But there is one critical mistake you must avoid. Do not drink a cup of coffee or tea within 90 minutes of this meal. The tannins in coffee will violently bind to the minerals and physically block the shield from ever reaching your bloodstream. Eat the Triad first. The coffee comes much later. Within a few days, that heavy, gritty, tired feeling your eyes carry by the evening will start to lift. By week 3, the morning fog clears faster. The terrifying halos around the headlights begin to soften. But remember, this seed protocol is only the foundation. If you have spent decades letting the proteins inside your lens cook, and you want to completely stop the oxidative damage while naturally restoring the sharp, crystal-clear vision of your youth, you need the full clinical blueprint. There are specific, hidden foods in your fridge right now that are actively destroying your glutathione shield, and simple evening habits that will force your eyes to repair while you sleep. To get the complete, step-by-step vision restoration protocol, click the link in the pinned comment below. Watch the free, comprehensive presentation right now before the eye care industry forces it to be taken down. The ultimate solution to your blurry mornings is waiting for you. Just click the link in the first pinned comment. Sarah no longer wakes up terrified of the fog. She threw the useless, expensive eye drops in the trash. She built the crystal shield. She stopped the egg from frying. Do not accept a fading world as a normal part of getting older. Do not wait until the damage is irreversible. Protect the isolated island, feed the lens, and reclaim the clear, bright, independent vision you deserve.